Hello. So, after the resounding over success of asking you lot if it's a good idea for me to go on my little boating adventure, I thought about speak about the plan. Now, I have come up against the age-old adage, which is time and tide wait for no man. And as it turns out, they won't hurry up for anyone either. So if you're waiting for the tide rather than the tide waiting for you, you're going to be waiting until the tide's ready. But the adage still stands. It works either way round, really. So what I've done to talk to you about the plan is I've come down to where my little boat, the boat's name is Wren, and this is a tiny little boat that says, you're going to take me to North Wales so I can see where my bigger boat is. And the plan is that all you lovely lot out there are going to be so entertained that you make me successful on YouTube or some such platform. And I can, well, basically, I can bag a bit of cash to fix the big boat up and maybe continue the adventure. Now, things are going to be interesting. My speech is coming back better day by day, but I still sound, well, a bit funny. There's going to be some people out there that take the piss out of how I sound. You know what? Go for it. I think you'll flying monkeys. And there's also going to be some people out there that sympathise. And thank you for the sympathy. I will get over it. So don't sympathise too much. I'm not, I'm not a sad case. Although I'm going to sell myself as a charity case. I'm not lying about this. I'm going to be completely honest. But I would like to talk about the plan. So the plan is that I take this tiny little boat and I sail it all the way along the south coast, around Land's End, across the Severn Channel, up the coast of Wales, all the way to North Wales. It sounds so simple when you put it that way, but we better have a look at the boat. And we better have a serious think about this big plan of mine. Well, I promise it will probably be quite entertaining, and I will be as relevant and as witty as possible. And hopefully you guys can appreciate my humour and wit. But yes, as I say, the tide hasn't quite gone out, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you for a walk where Wren, my small boat is, as in Jenny Wren, the small bird. I've got to say, I'm not going to be completely Rob Brydon on this and just sat in the cab of the van. This is one of the most picturesque and beautiful little natural harbours, certainly on the south coast, if not, well, in the world. I love it. It's beautiful here. So, let me see if I can flip you round. If not, I'm going to have to edit some stuff, which that's going to be my next big challenge. Yeah, so let's take a walk. So, here we are. Let's go to panorama. Now, I've got to learn about being a cameraman, I suppose, but this is Dale Quay. This is Quay in Chichester Harbour, which is off the Solent, and this actual original building here, as you can see, Edwardian style, so certainly since the mid-1800s this has been here, but I'm pretty sure that there's a bit more history to this place. I've been coming here since a knee-high to a grasshopper, and this is one of the most absolutely beautiful little quays, and certainly one of the most stunning places that I know, really. And as you can see, a very popular boating place, and there is quite a well-renowned local pub there, the Crown and Anchor. Always been expensive for food, but they've got amazing views, so I suppose that works. So let's take a little walk down here. Now, as I say, I've come a bit early for the tide, and I'm not going to be able to hang around today because unfortunately I promised I'm going to help with a friend in about an hour, so I thought I'd pop in on the way past and come and introduce you to the tiny little boat. There we are. Behold, the Jenny Wren, or well, she's actually just called Wren, but as in the Jenny Wren. Now, she's a Hardy Alacrity 19. Some of you will know what that means. Others, well, that's the name of the brand and the model. And she's a tiny little, what most would class as a day sailor. However, she certainly has got a big challenge ahead of her. Now, I have kitted her out reasonably well, but there are certainly some safety measures that are going to be done before we go anywhere. There's quite a few jobs I know need doing, so we're going to straighten those things out and get her as seaworthy as possible, because, safety is paramount when it comes to this sort of thing. We're not mucking about here. The sea can be very dangerous. However, if you caution yourself to that danger and prepare again, and plan, even if the plan doesn't go according to plan, you should have at least 10 contingencies. You should be fine. There are obviously lots of safety precautions that will be in place, and we will go through those at a later date, because as I said, the tide hasn't gone out yet, and they can't just walk you out to her as I had planned or hoped. I just got the tide time a touch wrong. But there she is. There's the Jenny Wren. Now, the interesting thing about the Jenny Wren, as I say, she's a Hardy Alacrity 19, that's the make and model. Hardy, quite renowned boat builders, and the Alacrity 19, quite an unremarkable boat, if I'm honest. It wasn't particularly well received or famed for anything, but around here they seem quite popular. Now there's another one. Ooh, I wonder if we can zoom in. There we go. There's another Hardy Alacrity 19. Oh, where is my finger in relation to this bloody zoom? Wow, massive finger. There we go. That little blue boat there, just above my finger. That's another Alacrity 19. And I'm going to zoom back out because a bit better picture quality. But yeah, that is Wren. And she's the boat that's going to take me. And we're going to wander back here. Beautiful picturesque Delhi. Alas, so there you have it. That's Jenny Wren and Delhi, one of the most beautiful little natural harbours, certainly, that I've ever come across. And I'm fairly well travelled, certainly mainly in the European area, having been to pretty much every country and principality in Western Europe. But that is something perhaps for one of my books. I've been thinking about doing a bit of a biography because, autobiography, I write the bloody thing myself. But what I will say is this, I've worked it out. I probably need about 3 books. I'm not boasting or bragging, it's just only where I can imagine it going down. So we might get into that later. It depends how successful my little endeavour is. I've got to say that a lot of this is to do with cancer. Let's not make any mistake about it. A lot of this is to do with cancer. Cancer has been the catalyst for me to make change. Now, what we're talking about here is I've been working, and forever, thinking, I just need to get this in place, get that little bit more money, do this, do that, before I can actually, do what I really is in my soul, which is get out on the boat and go on an adventure. And what cancer has gifted me with, and I would say gifted loosely because it's very much a double-edged sword, I can assure you, is a newfound perspective that if I don't do this now, I might never do it. Because although I've been given this wonderful news that the surgeons have done such a tremendously good job, all of the biopsy material post-op has been examined, and I've come back with a clean margin around the cancer that they took out, which basically means they cut an extra bit out to try and miss cutting through cancer or leaving any in there, and everything they've tested thus far has been all clear. Now, that is absolutely tremendous news. They also took my tonsils out. They were considered benign. They took one of my lymph nodes out. That was considered benign. So, all of the tests resounding positive, absolutely brilliant. But here's a horrible thing, folks. I have to live in the knowledge that they still might have missed something, and this will all come back here or anywhere, and it could come back more aggressive than it was, and it was bloody aggressive. It was very quick. It didn't so much sneak up on me as ambush me and really shocked the life out of me. Like, literally, the energy sap that I had from everything. I can't even go into that. It's all I can say is it was some very dark times for me and for my family. How this has affected everyone has been varied and very emotional. It's something that perhaps I will be able to talk to you about on the voyage, once we're actually on the water. I certainly still need to regather some thoughts about this. And I might even write a few little strips to remind me what I actually want to talk about, because I love chatting and rambling, and I could go on for hours. But after about 15 minutes, I can really just chatting absolute waffle. And although some of you lovely folks probably appreciate my waffle, it makes me feel a bit self-conscious. I would like to try and keep on point. But yeah, here we are, lovely Delphi, and as I say to you, this is the beginning of the endeavour, and the plan, well, I might try and do a little graphic to add into this. I don't know if I'm going to be successful, but to give you an idea of the route that I'm going to be taking. And it's going to be a slow-going voyage because I don't have any of these fancy self-steering systems. I don't have an auto helm, so I don't really have a functional way of guiding the boat whilst I get some sleep or cook some food or anything like that per se. So I imagine I'm going to have the marathon task of coast hiking pretty much most of the way, and this will consist of long days at the helm, tending the sheets and trimming the sails, and finishing up at an anchorage each day, or at least somewhere I can weigh anchor. Or, if some of you guys out there are feeling particularly generous, or I end up with a lot of people watching this stuff on YouTube, and YouTube start helping me out financially, then, I may very well put into the odd marina now and then, maybe catch up on a bit of laundry, get a nice hot shower, that kind of thing, which aren't the luxuries that I'm going to have on Ren for the most part, I must tell you. But that's not something I'm not used to. Having grown up on the road, with a backpack on my back, living in tents, cars, boats, sometimes even cycling across Europe with full camp kit, and that was part of book one, definitely. I'm not unused to, should we say, the hobo's lifestyle, which, it consists of strips washes and having a slightly disheveled and vagabond look, which, let me tell you folks, some people preen and take care and pride in their appearance, and I think that's wonderful and brilliant. And some people don't, and they look a bit rough and look a bit haggard, and I think that's brilliant too. We shouldn't judge people on any of these things. If someone is particularly whiffy or stinks of pee or something worse, then obviously we've got some problems. But if someone's a bit, BOE or, unshaven, or just unkempt, I think is the word that I hear so often, and I think, what a horrid word, to bestow upon people, that just generally spend more time living, and happy in themselves than they do sitting in front of a mirror or taking care and pride in their appearance to be, a brilliant specimen of humanity, looking all fine and dandy the whole time. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not stating any of those people. I've got friends that very much take pride in caring their appearance, and I think they're wonderful human beings. You can't judge human beings on their appearance, I can tell you that. And there's only, you have to get really foul smelling before you start judging on that, and sometimes you can't even use that. I mean, look at old people. Sometimes they smell a horrible thing, but it's not their fault, is it? So, don't judge people by appearances, looks, or even smells. This is one thing of Ace's perspective, and I can certainly tell you that I had that perspective before the cancer. I will cover in more detail the perspectives that have changed with the cancer. But yeah, I will wrap that up, and we'll probably have a look at this in editing because I'm aware I'm waffling. So take care, folks, and I'll speak to you soon.